Rabies by Natasha, Miah, and Kiara.
Rabies is a disease caused by a type of lyssavirus called rhabdovirus. Rhabdoviruses are made of a helico-ribonucleoprotein core and a surrounding envelope. The viruses are shaped like bullets and are about 180 nanometers long and 75 nanometers wide, and are a single negative-stranded ribonucleic acid genome. The genetic information is packaged as a ribonucleic protein complex, and the RNA is tightly bound by the viral nuclear protein. Rabies is found on 6 of the 7 continents, excluding Antarctica, but 95% of human deaths occur in developing countries in Africa and Asia. In the United States, rabies is found in every state except for Hawaii. Annually, 50,000 to 100,000 people die of rabies worldwide, with every 1 person dying every 10 minutes in Asia and Africa, and 1 to 2 people dying each year in the United States. The 2 largest collections of rabies reservoirs are canines and bats, but there is variation in reservoirs depending on the location in the world. In North America, the main reservoirs are skunks, raccoons, coyotes, and gray foxes. In Europe, the main reservoirs are red foxes and raccoons. And in Africa, mongooses serve as the largest reservoir. The virus is transmitted through the bite of an infected animal when the saliva enters the open wound of the bitten animal or human. After the rabies virus is introduced into a muscle through an open wound, it travels along the neural pathways of the peripheral nervous system and then from the site of the bite to the central nervous system via the bloodstream. The virus may lie dormant for several weeks to several months. In its dormant stage, the virus is still alive. However, it doesn't attack the body or produce any symptoms. While in the dormant stage, the virus continues to reproduce and spread through the body. The only initial signs of a rabies infection is a burning or painful sensation around the wound. Once the virus has surpassed the dormant stage, it travels from the central nervous system to other organs. The salivary glands located in tissues of the mouth and cheeks receive high concentrations of the virus, thus allowing it to be transmitted even further as a result of projectile salivation. Rabies manifests in 2 main groups, encephalitic and paralytic. Encephalitic rabies accounts for more than 80% of human cases, manifesting as signs of hyperactivity, hyposalivation, periods of agitation alternating with lucidity, hydrophobia, and sometimes aerophobia. After several days, the infections lead to a coma and death by cardiorespiratory failure. The second type, paralytic, takes a longer course than the other, with flaccid muscle weakness in the early stages of infection, followed by gradual paralysis. A coma follows, and then death by respiratory failure occurs. Other general symptoms of rabies are fevers, headaches, delirium, abnormal behavior, hallucinations, insomnia, excessive salivation, dehydration, hydrophobia, and the loss of muscle tone. Once clinical signs of rabies appear, the disease is nearly almost always fatal. The virus provokes a very poor immunological response, so the body is ultimately defenseless against the disease. Some studies suggest that the virus suppresses cell-mediated immunity early during the infection. The only treatment for rabies post-exposure is a thorough cleansing of the wound and immunization with modern cell culture combined with the administration of rabies immune globulin. The best method of prevention before infection, though, is the use of vaccines. Vaccination with a modern cell culture is recommended for people at high risk of exposure to rabies and for travelers who spend longer than 1 month in countries where rabies is a constant threat. Vaccinating pets is also a preventive measure that can be taken to limit the risk of infection. Many people are averse to vaccinating their pets, which can increase the spread of the disease. However, many other people are taking preventative measures to help limit the spread of rabies. The major source of rabies in humans can be eliminated through ensuring adequate animal vaccination and control, educating those at risk, and enhancing access of those bitten to appropriate medical care. Global Alliance for Rabies Control is a group that was created in 2006 by a group of researchers and professionals to mobilize awareness and resources in support of human rabies prevention and animals' rabies control. Remember, kids, don't get rabies. Vaccinate your babies.